Welcome everybody, it's Salman. In this video we are going to be talking about the original story to Shaolin Shuffle, and I'm going to be explaining it to the best of my ability with the information we have. But first, let me kind of explain what I mean by original story of Shaolin Shuffle. And I believe a lot of people who watch my videos know this, but Shaolin Shuffle was its own movie before we actually went into it. This is one of Willard Wyler's older movies that we're just re-going through. So what I want to focus on is not the story that we are really going through and experiencing now, but the story that Shaolin Shuffle originally had to offer before we even touched it. But I do plan to talk about the current story of Shaolin Shuffle, or the storyline with our characters involved, but that's not this video, and I'll make that video soon enough. But with that out of the way, let's actually get into this video. So as most people know, this map is based in the 1970s and in New York City, and from what we can tell, this story is mainly focused on a character called Arthur McIntosh, and his story is that he's the owner of a multi-billion-dollar company called McIntosh and McIntosh. We are never told what they do, but we do know they are very important to the local New York City economy, and they are most likely also important to a larger economy, but that's not what this story is really focused on. But for the reason we know this, I'll tell you guys in a second, but just keep in the back of your head that this company is very important to the local New York City economy. But what he did, he went and stole a boatload of money from his own company to quote-unquote fund his own ventures. As for what his ventures are, I could speculate at the end of this video, and I actually think it's a really cool idea, but I'll save that for the speculation part of this video. Right now we're just going to be focused on the explaining part. But as almost everybody knows, it is very illegal to steal from a company, even if you are the owner. And with money disappearing seemingly out of nowhere, the company is put under investigation. And when the investigation reveals that money is disappearing from McIntosh and McIntosh, investors start to freak out at the same time because they're investing in a company with their money disappearing randomly, so they start pulling all their stocks, and this makes things much worse because not only are they losing money from their owner, stealing money from the company, the investors are all pulling out now. And with the failure of McIntosh and McIntosh, New York City starts to suffer also, because with the failure of McIntosh and McIntosh, we do see crime rises because of the effect it had on its local economy. Without the money from McIntosh and McIntosh, there's a lot less money in the economy, and because of this, people need to find other ways to survive, and they start doing crime. And this is also a really good reason why the city is all destroyed in-game. But with all this happening, the law still continues with their investigation, and they prove that McIntosh is guilty, but somehow Arthur goes and escapes and goes into hiding. And I'm sure all of you guys have seen this inside the intro cutscene. We do see Arthur go and hide in the sewers, and he drinks a magical potion, and all the rats start to surround him. Now there's two things I want to go back to, and I kind of skipped over these, but of course on purpose. But the first one I go back to is that when we actually see crime start rising and the rats rising also, we do see a couple things saying like black cats vow to protect the city and vigilantes tackle crime in New York City, just things like this. And of course this is the development of the Black Cat Dojo that we already see inside game with Pam Grier and everything. But now to get to more of the speculation part of this video, and it has to do with what Arthur McIntosh's ventures are, and I think it's a really good assumption even though it is an assumption. And what I believe his ventures have to do with it has to do with the rats and the potion he drinks at the end of the intro cutscene. And the reason I believe this is because if you look at this image on screen right now, we do see this is the start of when the investigation starts into his company. Of course, because money is disappearing, but we also see under that when it says rats taking over, and we see this trend continue inside the next newspapers because we do see the big headline talking about the investigation going through or the money disappearing, but we also see little things talking about the rats, and of course we see another one where it says the rats, is it getting worse? So I highly believe, and with this information given, I do believe whatever his ventures are have something to do with the rats, and it probably was all focused on that potion, like I said, that he drank at the end of the intro cutscene. Now, like I said, that part was speculation, but the rest of this video was complete explaining. So anyways, that's about it for this video. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think about this story. But if I did make any mistakes, or if I forgot to mention something or anything like that, go ahead and tell me down in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for content similar to this, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I will catch you guys on my next video.